All right. So in this video, we are talking about SQL null values. So what are null values? I will show you that in the query editor, and and before I show you that, actually I want to give you some background information also. So as you remember, if you remember, we have added this row in our table, and this is the data set that we have. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I will try to delete this row. Okay, and I will add the same row with some null values to show you how the null values work, right? So what I'm going to do is I will delete the row, so it will also learn how to delete a particular row from a data. Okay, so what I will do delete from which table. I want to delete it from the customer data. So I will take the customer data. Now which row I want to delete? I want to delete the last row where the customer ID is 6, or we can also say the customer name is John. Okay, so I will go with the customer ID. Okay, so customer ID 6, I will need to delete that. So what I'm going to say is where the customer ID, I'm going to copy this name. uh, I will copy this name, paste it here, and customer ID should be equal to 6. Okay, and I will try to run this one. Okay, so if I run this, oh, okay, you see there is an error that it is giving. Okay, now if I look at this error, if you see this error code, okay, you will also be able to learn a lot of things. So it says that you are using a safe update mode, and you tried to update a table without a where that uses the key column. Okay, so that means somehow this workbench is restricting you to delete a row from the data, because it can lead to a lot of data problem. Okay, so SQL has an option to safeguard that. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to just disable that. So what I'm going to do, I will go to the edit, and then I will go to preferences. Now if I go to the preferences, so there is an option called SQL editor. Now if I go here, you don't need to look at all of these things. If you go to the last part, you see safe update. That means right now it is rejecting any update or delete statement. Okay, and we don't want that. Okay, because since we are learning, we don't want this option. So what I will do, I will just uncheck this and I will click OK. Okay, now after doing that, I also need to restart the workbench. Okay, so I will just do that. I will restart it, and I will come back to you. All right. So I have already restarted the workbench, and now let me see if the data is coming properly or not. I will just run this, and okay, it is showing error. No database selected. Okay, you see, it is saying no database selected. That means you see this practice is not bolded right now. Okay, so for that, what I'll need to do, and you all know that I will need to use the practice database. Okay, I will just use practice, and then I will try to run both of this. Once I do that, you see both of them ran successfully, and it is showing me the table. Okay, and it has also this row, because we have already added it in this database. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it. So I will run this one now, and let's see. You see, it happened, right? It didn't give any error. Okay, now after deleting it, I will try to run this one again to see how the data looks right now. And you see the last row is gone already, okay, from my data. Now in order to show you the null values, what I'm going to do is, with this data, I will add some null values in here. Okay, so instead of US, what I'm going to say is the US should be a null. Okay, now what happens is whenever this data will get added in the row, you will see that in the country column, okay, instead of US, you will have a null value. Okay, so let's try and run that. I will run this one, and when I run that, I need to refresh it again. And if I refresh it, and then I will try to run this one again to see. You see, now we have all the records, but in the last one we have a null value. Okay, now coming to the point about the null value, how we can get all this null value. So let's say there are many null values in our data, and we want to see how many null values are there, and we want to, let's say, treat them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will do select all from which data, from the customer uh, data. Again, I'm writing it, I should have copied it. So select all from customer data. Now I will say where which column has null? The country, right? So I'm going to write where the country is. This time I'm not going to use any equal to function. Okay, so I'm just going to use is, and I will say null, and I will close it, and then I will try to run this. Once I run that, you see it is showing me only one row, because in one row we have the null values. Okay, now let's say that I don't want to see all these columns. Okay, I only want to see on one column. Okay, let's say wherever the country is blank, what is the postal code? Okay, so now instead of this asterisk, what I'm going to use is I'm going to say postal code. So I will just copy it and I will paste it here. Okay, I'm going to paste it over here, and then I will try to run this one. So you see, it is showing me the postal code. Let me try to run this. It is showing me only the postal code. So you see, it is giving a very wrong result here. Now, what really happened? What did I do wrong over here so that this is happening? So when I take my cursor over here and I hit the run button, what happens is all the codes that are above this code will also run. So what happened was basically it has added the row. Okay, and this at the same time it has also deleted the row. That's why nothing is showing up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will try to delete this one. Okay, so I will, as of now, I will just delete this one, and then I will try to run everything again. Okay, so I will run everything, and this time you see select all from customers data where country is equal to null is showing. Now I want to show only the postal code. So what I'm going to do is I will just take postal code over here. Okay, postal code, and then I will again I will have to select it, and then I will try to run it. So wherever the country is null, the postal code is 123. And you can also check the country also. If you hit a comma and if you put the country also in the column names, what will happen is it will also show you the country names as well. So I will just select it and I will run. So you see 123 and the country is null. So this is how you can get the null values from your data.